Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Hold! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menentia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Glacial Spear, here's the evil!
It's almost too
Real.
strong.
Let it over!
Be my guest.
Armor won't save you!
Resonate with the earth.
In here!
Denied!
I'll saving this way! That's my cue!
Can't get out of bed. Shut him down.
Ice Prison! Annihilation! I'm ready! Ice Prison! Where are you going?
Breath of
Not
life.
today.
Heal my weary companion.
Shattering of vision!
I'm ready.
Doubling!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
A chain between heaven and earth!
I'm ready.
Lost!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
A chain between heaven and earth!
You're mine!
Radiant light. Full regeneration.
Doubling!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Resonate with the earth. I'm ready.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
A chain between
This
heaven
one's
and earth!
tough.
Here I go! It's over! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! These ones can run rings around us! Close one! Gotcha! I'm all stopped up!
On your double demon fang!
Ice Prison! Annihilation! Magna Ray! If it's in the sky, it's water!
Hurricane Thrust! I owe you one.
You've been snaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Dragon Form!
I can carve through armor!
Getting Pile Driver! Here I come!
In a bind?
Celestial Hammer! Ice Prison!
You picked the wrong fight!
Photon Flash! A chain between heaven and earth!
Tornado Alpha!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Resonate with the
Divine
earth.
Savior! Lunar corruption! A chain between heaven and earth! Doubling!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! Lunar corruption! Arctic waterfall! Sleep now!
Black and Blade! Rising Wyvern! Execution!
Divine
Anything in armor is all mine!
Not today!
Here comes! Here! Photon Flash! Back into the fray!
Be
Go
still!
get it!
I'm ready.
Rising Falcon! I can feel my power growing!
Got a really bad feeling of... About this. Illuminate the dark! Come here! Holy glimmer! In here!
I'll face you.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
A chain between heaven and earth. Flare tornado! A wailing banshee steel! Let the marksman handle this! Here,
Resonate with the earth. I can carve through walls. Burn up.
Annihilation! Radiant blood here!
I'll blind you with the sunblade. Elusive deity. Dragon Swarm. Ignite. No dawn shall break this night.
I never miss!
Radiant blast. Eternal devastation. In a bind. Double demon.
Blah, blah, blah!
I'll burn it all. Flaming pillar. Fire.
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning! Hear my call! Divine wind!
Severing wind. This one's home. No. It can't end here.
Don't leave me! Shoot it down! Resuscitation! Celestial hammer! Glacial spear!
I'll smash you. Blast.
Freeze laser!
No further. Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Rising Falcon. Onward. You're on. This one's all mine. Explosive ring. Eat dirt.
By the power of water!
Begin.
Not on my watch!
Take this.
Reload! Celestial hammer! Ice resistor ray! Take that! Here's a close one! Gotcha!
Air pressure. I know you want. Shattering to pieces.
Attack!
I'll face you. Breath of life. Heal my
In
weary.
here!
Cure. Here I come.
A chain between heaven and earth!
Negative gate.
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Dragon Cow.
Hear me! Flame of fury! Go get it! Hear my call!
Swallow blade.
Another
incantation ruined. On your demon fang. Double demon fang. Air
A
pressure.
chain between heaven and earth!
Coming through. Ha! Melt. Scarlet Inferno.
A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! In here! More where that came from!
Take catapult. Demon fang. Double demon fang. Thanks. Demon fang.
Seal!
Blood. Rending you a bloody howling. Resonate with the
Here's
earth.
the
Stalagmite. Rising Falcon.
Glacial spear! One last one! More where that came from!
No dawn
Freeze
shall break
celestial
this
hammer!
night. Sonic spear.
Ready!
I'm ready! More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. This one will be
chain
difficult to
between heaven
predict.
and earth. A wailing... chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning! A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning!
Being interrupted. Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Take that! Bullseye! More with that came from! Celestial hammer! Annihilation! Hammer! Flame of fury! Burning!
Can't get out of this!
Spread! Celestial hammer! That'll bring you down!
Rising Phoenix! Not today!
Will this help?
Elusive deity! Now you see what I can do! My deal?
I can't heal you forever!
No further!
Fire support!
Nothing gets by me!
Be still! An everlasting darkness! Negative gate down!
Illuminate!
Bloody howling!
That took more energy than I expected. This won't be easy.
Between heaven and earth. Don't be such a pessimist. Searing flame! Reload! Searing flame! Reload! Now for something. How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
It's too much! I have no limits! Swallow blade!
Hear me! Anything in order is all mine! Hear my call! Bread! Laser spear! Pierce evil! Celestial hammer! Freeze laser!
Rising light! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I come!
Purge malevolence! Arcane fireball! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Dragon Swarm!
Freeze laser!
Elusive deity!
Tornado star!
Overwatch save you! Tornado drive!
Celestial hammer! Here goes!
Vassal! I'm ready!
Alpin! Astral energy!
Say no more!
A chain between
I'm
heaven
ready.
and earth! Astral energy!
Say no more!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Hi, Hoodle! A chain between heaven and earth!
I'm not done!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Being interrupted. Begin!
Please now! I'll be saving this one!
Can't end here!
Forgive me.
Celestial hammer!
From beyond,
Take that!
imbue this vanquished
More
soul
where that
with
came
life!
from!
Resuscitation!
Celestial hammer!
Anything in armor is all mine! Shine! Radiant light! Flames of regeneration! See what I can do! Rising regenerate! Allow me to help you! Dragon Swarm! Pierce through! No further!
Will this help?
Here I come!
Not in your dream!
Can you take it? I'm not
Celestial hammer! Where are you going?
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same
Death
for
on
me.
the way! You picked the wrong fight! Rending you apart!
Take it!
Bloody howling!
One more!
Raining
One last
fire!
one!
Eternal devastation! Demon Fang!
Purge malevolence! Arcane waterfall! Seal!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Take this! Eternal devastation!
Shooting star! Chain between heaven and earth!
Bloody howling!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! Here's an
Everlasting darkness!
chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of
They
lightning!
smite with blackened blade! Escape!
Seal!
Vacuum blade!
Celestial hammer!
Double Demon Fang! On your
Here, if it's in the sky, it's mine!
air pressure! Dazzle!
Seal! Celestial hammer!
Smash you! They smite with blackened blade!
Here's a nice circle! Bullseye!
Far enough!
Celestial hammer!
Pierce through!
Hear me!
Dragon Gate!
Burning!
Bring it down!
Hear my call!
Double Demon Fang!
Evil! Here goes! Take that!
Eternal devastation!
Bullseye!
Another incantation ruined.
No more playing nice!
Glacial spear!
Where would that come from? Freeze Lancer!
vines!
Ice prison! Bullseye!
Dragon Swarm!
Celestial Dagger! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
Careless. A chain between heaven and
Don't
earth.
tell me!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Anything in armor is all mine!
They really don't give up, do they? First aid! Seal! Mega ray! Back into the fray! Celestial Dagger!
Radiant light!
Here's an by the power of Celestial Dagger!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lunar Blade! Go get it! Bullseye! Arch Seal!
Denied!
Celestial Dagger! Not on my watch! Here goes!
Demon Fang! Double
Here's
Demon
another!
Fang!
More where that came from!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
I'm coming!
I'm ready!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike! Take
Lunar
this!
Corruption!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Celestial Dagger!
Not today!
Ice Prison!
On your knees!
Lunar Corruption!
Can't get out of this!
Do it!
In an instant! Impact Claw! Breath of life! Heal my weary companion! Exact cure! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
I have a bad feeling
Chain
about
between
this.
heaven and earth!
Lord!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Here goes!
Still!
Not in your dreams!
I won't show you any mercy! I see one, eh?
Divine State! Now in the here! Hurry, malevolent!
Time to let it rip!
Leave the target to me! Far beyond the darkest sky! Reload! Far beyond the darkest sky! I call on thee!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Far beyond the darkest sky! A close one! Gotcha! Far beyond the darkest sky! I'm calling on thee! Gotcha! Far beyond the darkest sky! I'm calling on thee! Shooting star!
You're mine! In a bind?
Blow slice! Celestial Ice prison! Here goes! Ice prison!
Ignite!
Here's evil!
Can't end here!
Don't leave me! Not in your dreams! Thanks so much! Go get him! Hear my call! One last one! More where that came from! Ice prison! Where are you going? Here's evil!
I can carve through my shield!
Freeze laser!
Eternal Rotation! No further! I'm ready!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Here, let me help! First aid! Oh, violent guiding Illuminate them! Don't get in my way! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alvin.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alvin was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, It was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden, that's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zugos like that before.
How about with the stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did she get our hands on that?
First we handle the Zugos, then we get some answers.
Seal! Here goes! Go get it! Celestial River! Where was that came from?
Rising Wyvern! Let's try harder!
Celestial River!
Radiant light! Force of regeneration!
Soaring
I'll
Light
smash you!
Coyote!
Denied!
Mirage! Dragon Claw!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks,
ahead!
Into the shadows!
I'll face you! Shine!
A chain between heaven and earth!
No regeneration!
A wailing dancy of lightning!
Being interrupted! Hold nothing back!
Sweet now! Reload! War without end! Radiant blood! A chain between heaven and earth!
What in the world? Don't worry, I'm alright. I'm still standing. I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Sorry to trouble you.
A wailing... A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing dancy of lightning! Mega ray! Seal! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Rising Wyvern!
Celestial Hammer!
Mirage!
One more! Go get it! That move! Celestial Hammer!
Here comes the big one!
I need to pull myself together.
Sonic Rock! Sonic Rock! See what I can do! Demon Fang!
Ice Prison!
Resonate with the earth!
I can't heal you forever!
Take this!
I'm
grateful.
Celestial Hammer!
Hurricane Catapult! Rising Phoenix!
Not in your dreams! This one's mine! Magic is in! Divine Seek! Here's a healing
Alpha!
First aid! After orders!
On your
Corruption! By the power of water!
Double Demon
Hear me!
Fang!
Flame of fury! Burning strike! In
Demon
here!
Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Radiant blood! Back into the fray! Celestial Hammer!
Resonate with the earth! You!
Downfall!
Blade!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
Here's a healing
Leave the charges to me! Take this!
Far enough!
Rising Phoenix!
Divine Seek! Now all sealed! Here's evil!
Shine! Radiant light!
Waterfall!
Regenerate!
In here! Hear my call!
Prepare to be
More
free!
Power to malevolence! Arcane waterfall!
Cheating pile driver!
Here, seal!
Double Demon Fang! I'll face you!
Annihilation!
Eternal devastation!
Shoot it! Blah, blah, blah! I'm almost impressed! In here!
coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away. Lunar corruption!
Rising Fire!
Gemini Aqua!
Rising
Celestial
Stay away from my friend!
Celestial Hammer!
Sonic Thrust!
Now you see what I can do!
Nothing gets by
Double Demon Fang! Burn in hell! It's wide open!
It won't escape me. Take this!
Demon Fang!
Magic is there! Celestial Hammer! It's about to strike!
Eagle Ray! Look sharp, everyone!
Far beyond us!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Who cares?
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Demon Fang! I owe you
This is some punishment.
Rising up! Here's a healing art! I still got some fight left in me! Celestial Hammer!
Double Demon Fang!
Eat sir! Hit! Magnum! Here's another!
Swallow Blade!
War without Kingdom! Ready!
Eternal devastation!
Celestial
Demon
Hammer!
Fang!
Far enough!
Double Demon Fang!
Here, let me help!
You picked the wrong fight! I'm ready!
Dopamine!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Citizen!
Now it's just her! Varia, can you hear me? Varia!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalie!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please, can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember, you never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion.
It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions, I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first. I want to make sure I go into whatever comes next completely prepared.
That vision we saw, it was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait, he might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.